Okay, so it is time for another book tag, and in Australia, spring has officially sprung. So, quite adequately, today we are doing the spring cleaning book tag. Now, if my voice sounds a little strained, this is the third video that I'm doing in a row, so I just want to apologize to you guys in advance. The first prompt is a book that you struggle to begin because of its size. I don't think I really have an answer for this question because I don't choose my books based on page count. In fact, most of the time I don't even know what the page count is until I get the physical copy of the book. So this is going to be a tough one for me to answer. The longest book that I will be reading next month, The Way of Kings, the first book in the Stormlight Archives by Brandon Sanderson. Now, I've got two books here, but I'm holding them together because they were originally published as a single binder, but for some reason in Australia, we get the UK edition, which is split into two books. I am going to read them as intended, as two separate books, but I'm going to read them one after the other, so it's almost like I'm reading it as a single binder. Together, the total of these two books is over 1,000 pages, so this will be the longest book, we'll keep it as one, that I have read this year. And prompt number 2 is a book or series that you want to unhaul. And for this one, I just reached down into my DNF shelf. The Black Prism by Brent Weeks, The Shadow of What Was Lost by James Islington, Sabriel by Garth Nix, East by Edith Patel, although I probably would want to attempt to read this one again, definitely Nevernight by J. Christoph, The Last Smile in Sunder City, and The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin. Prompt number 3, a book that was refreshing, and for this one I'm going to go with my favourite book of 2020, The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. This is book 1 in the Mistborn series. I mean, talk about refreshing. This book actually revolutionized reading for me. It was just amazing. I've read fantasy books before, but this is a high fantasy book with hard magic systems. I'll leave a description of what all that means below. This book revolutionized reading for me. That is a very big praise to any book. So, a refreshing book, we have to go for the one that revolutionized reading for me, right? So, I would definitely go with The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. Prompt number 4 is a scene from a book that you wish you could rewrite. Book 4 in the selection series, The Heir by Kiera Cass. I would want to rewrite this book in its entirety because we time jump into book 4 and there's a whole space of time that is unaccounted for. So I would love to just kind of do away with this book or make this book number 5 and write a book in between. The Alloy of Law by Brandon Sanderson, book 4 in the Mistborn series. Again, we deal with a time jump between book 3, The Hero of Ages, and this one, we jump 300 years into the future. Ridiculous. It was a nightmare. Or I'd like to rewrite this book and take away an object that is used in this book and the rest of Era 2 of Mistborn that isn't used in Era 1. Just take that away. I think it would be so much better without this certain instrument. And finally, book number 4 in the Vampire Academy series, Blood Promise. So I would like to scrap the first 3/4 of this book and write something else. Prompt number 5, a book in a series that you didn't think was necessary. The Fellowship of the Ring by J.R.R. Tolkien. This is the first book in the Lord of the Rings trilogy and is set after The Hobbit. So this book opens up with a plan in chapter 1. The plan is to go on a quest. The quest commences in chapter 2. By the time we get to the end of this book, nothing else has happened. We are going on a quest, we are walking, we are stopping, we are eating, we are drinking, we are sleeping, we are walking again, or traveling, I should say, and the cycle repeats. Nothing of interest happens in this book. Speaking of books I want to unhaul all of my Lord of the Rings books, so if anyone wants them, let me know. I'm happy for them to go to a loving home. Prompt number 6, a book that had a clean finish. And for this one, I'm going to go with Bot Wars by J.V. Cade. This is a beautiful book. This was my introduction to sci-fi. However, it is a middle grade sci-fi. I did want to give it some airtime, so I highly recommend you read this book. If you've never read sci-fi before, start with this one. I'd never read sci-fi. I never thought I could get into sci-fi. I read this book and I wanted to lap up sci-fi. Prompt number 7, a book that tried too hard. I turned to Nevernight by J. Kristoff. If you look up "tried too hard" in a book dictionary, do not be surprised to see a picture of this book right next to the definition. J. Kristoff's writing style is so incredibly flowery that you can't help but think try hard. Like, seriously, not only that, it's really distracting from the plot. There are no more words that need to be said. And finally, prompt number 8 is a series that was tiring but satisfying to get through. The Vampire Academy series. My star ratings will tell you everything, so let's just go through them. Book 1, Vampire Academy, 3 stars. Book 2, Frostbite, 3 stars. Book 3, Shadow Kiss, 5 stars. Book 4, Blood Promise, 3 stars. Book 5, Spirit Bound, 5 stars. Book 6, Last Sacrifice, 5 stars. So I'm going to try and discuss this in as spoiler-free a way as I can. Vampire Academy Book 1 received 3 stars from me. The reason for this is because the first 3 quarters of the book were really meandering, and the final quarter was really good. So good that it enticed me to pick up book number 2. Book number 2 had the exact same issue. The first 3 quarters were incredibly meandering, but the final quarter was so good that it enticed me to pick up book 3. Book 3 was Rochelle Mead hitting her stride. This book was amazing from start to end, and it had me overly intrigued for book number 4. Book number 4 was pretty much a complete waste of space. It wasn't completely, but pretty much completely a waste of space. And then at the 3-quarter mark, she just all of a sudden remembers, like she has this light bulb moment of, oh my gosh, I was on a quest. I better get back to it. And it was like, are you seriously kidding me? I mean, here's me for the first 3 quarters going, okay, she has a quest. Okay, she's getting distracted. Okay, why is she still there? Rochelle Mead is synonymous with meandering. Book 5 was really good. We complete the quest we're meant to complete in book 4. And then in book 5, there's a consequence that has resulted owing to completing said quest. It's extremely action-packed. There is no distractions. There is no lull at all. And it's just done incredibly well. Final book. And again, this book was completely action-packed from start to end. So many things went on in this book. It was really, really good. It was so good. And I remember saying, well, pretty much anytime I refer to this book, I say an overwhelming 5 stars because it deserved it. Every page was just amazing in this book. So it was a slog to get through, but it was definitely worth it. And I found that out by the time I got to the end of the series. And that brings us to the end of the spring cleaning book tag. So I will leave that there and let you guys go. Peace, blessings, and so much love. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell for all the notifications, and leave a comment below if you would so like to do. Thank you very much for watching, letting you go with peace, blessings, and so much love. I post videos every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I'll see you again soon. Mwah! Happy reading! Bye guys! Bye!